Hey everybody, Lex DeVille here, back for another lesson. This one we're talking about how most people write proposals the wrong way. So we mentioned this in the previous lesson. We talked a little bit about the templated proposals. We're not cloning sheep here. We're not cloning proposals. You're not going to copy paste. There's no copy paste jobs. Why? Because that doesn't work. And it doesn't work because, like we described before, you're sending a communication that is intended to establish a relationship. If you are the president of the United States and you want to contact the president of another country, you're not just going to send a spam message to that other president. You're going to pick up the phone, you're going to reach out to them, and you're going to say certain things that are going to let them know that you want to talk to them man to man, woman to woman, business to business, president to president, so that you establish a relationship. But templates don't allow you to do that very well, and this is the same reason. Look, think about all of the emails you've ever gotten, all of the spam emails you've ever gotten. If you're a business owner, if you have a website, you've probably received a million of these spam messages saying, hey, let me design your website. Hey, we want to do your graphic design. We're offering logo design today. We're offering copywriting. They say all these things, and you ignore them. You trash them. You don't even read the first sentence. You probably don't even open them. Sometimes you blacklist them, and you go out of your way to report them to the FCC, and so that you'll stop getting those messages. That's not what we want here, and that's why templates don't work. So some people have okay results with templates when they've niched down, they've gotten very narrow with their messaging, and there are ways you can make templates work a little bit better, but overall, my experience with templates has been that they don't work very well. The templated experiences other people have had that they've talked to me about has been that they work terribly. They send out a lot of templates and they just don't get responses. And there's another problem with the templates, that is, if you send out one too many templates in too short a time period and you don't get a response, Upwork will suspend you. They will either A, suspend you, or they will B, permanently ban you from their platform. Both of those are not good things, because if you're suspended or you're banned, you cannot make money on their platform. So that's another pitfall of writing templated proposals. So I don't know why people do this. They keep doing it. It's not getting results. You know the definition of insanity. We've all heard it before. It's doing the same thing and expecting different results, but you're not going to get those. So you have to change something. So templated proposals is the first thing people do that doesn't really get results. And why are we sending template proposals? Well, when you get to the underlying issue, it's a mindset issue, which we'll talk about mindset here shortly. We talked about it in my first freelance course, but we'll talk about it here too. It's a mindset issue. It comes down to people wanting to take the easy way out. They're looking for an event rather than the process. The process would be spending time to understand this individual client and crafting a custom tailored proposal, whereas the event-focused people are looking at, hey, I wrote this proposal, it tells the stuff about me they would need to know, here you go. And then they get this feeling like, I deserve to get a response. They feel like they deserve a response from the client, and then they're surprised when they don't get it, and that really upsets them. They don't understand what they're doing wrong. They've sent out this proposal that says, look, I'm clearly qualified for this gig. Why am I not getting responses? I deserve it. I've been through some college. I've worked at this place and this place. That's not going to work though. People are writing proposals like this. So not only we're actually stacking a couple of problems together. So the first problem is that it's a template. And when you send templates, the problem with templates on Upwork is that a lot of clients are posting messages like, reply with pizza at the top of your proposal to let me know that you're paying attention. They want to know you're paying attention. They want to know that you took the time to read their job post, because they took the time to write it, so they want you to read it. If you just send a template, you're going to miss that. You're not going to have that in your proposal, and they're just going to trash your proposal immediately. Other problems that you're going to have with that are similar. If you send a template, you're not going to address their specific issues. They're going to feel like you didn't take any time, you didn't care, and you're not going to care about their business when they give you the job. So they're not going to give you the job. So that's another problem. Going beyond templates. So templates are like the number one proposal mistake I see people making. But there's another mistake, or another series of mistakes people are making, and it's in how you actually write those templates, or how you actually write your proposals. So this next part moves into I focus. It's me focus. It's all about me, me, me. Whenever you send your proposals, you write them I want you to like go back into your Upwork. If you've already started sending proposals, go into Upwork, look at every past proposal you've sent. How many of those proposals started with the word I? Tell me that. If you can find any in there that don't start with I, let me know. And I'm not talking about your greeting. I'm not talking about the hi there, hey there stuff, dear client, whatever. I'm talking about the first sentence of your proposal. It starts with, I am a digital marketing expert. I have 20 years of experience. Something like that. It talks about your work history. It talks about your education, your college degree, your certifications. That's what it talks about. And it starts with I almost every single time. That is the next big mistake. So between templated proposals and too much me, that's going to be the two big mistakes that are going to stop you from getting responses. And then that third one is just your education and experience, putting too much focus on that when that's not what clients care about. They don't care about that at all. That's a credibility marker, but it's not something they're going to care about at the beginning of your proposal. So if you are struggling to get proposal responses, even before you go through the rest of this course, you can fix 99% of your proposal response problems just by, one, writing a custom tailored proposal for every single gig. Even though it's going to take more time, even though it's going to take more effort, that's part of the process. Write a custom tailored proposal for every gig, no templates. And then two, stop talking about your work history, your education. Stop putting the word I at the beginning of your proposal. Start it any other way. I don't care how you start it. You don't have to start with the word you. I like to start with the word you a lot of the time. I think it's good to start with you. You need this, but start with any other thing other than the word I, and you will see an increase in your responses to your proposals. I promise you that. That has been my experience. That is what I tell people every day. And as soon as they start making this change and start removing the word I as much as possible, I, me, my, they start getting better results. So that's what I've got for this one. Hope you're not making these mistakes, but some of you I know will be, and this is going to change your life just by fixing these three things. Stop the templates. Stop using I so much, and stop talking about your education and work history. Nobody cares about that stuff. We'll get into what they do care about in another lesson coming up shortly, and then we'll also talk about the mindset you need going into this that is going to help you succeed. That's all I've got for this one, and I will see you in the next lesson.